Back with another album review. We're going to be taking a look at another soundtrack this time. For this episode, I'm reviewing the soundtrack for End of Days. The film was released on November 24th, 1999, and starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. Even though I haven't seen the movie as of the making of this video, I just had to get the soundtrack because of the artists who are featured on it. The executive producer was Jordan Schur. The soundtrack was released on November 2nd, 1999 on Geffen Records. Now let's talk about the songs. The soundtrack starts with Camel's Song by Korn. Korn was huge back in the 90s, and they're still relevant today. So it makes sense why these guys would be included on the soundtrack. Next track is So Long by Everlast. Apparently Danny Lohner was a producer on this track. I am familiar with Danny thanks to his work with Nine Inch Nails and A Perfect Circle. After that is Slow by Professional Murder Music. Toby Wright helped to produce this track. We followed up with Crushed by Limp Bizkit. Just like Korn, Limp Bizkit was super popular back in the late 90s. Hell, both bands formed at the catastrophe that was Woodstock 99. That's followed up by Oh My God by Guns N' Roses. Apparently this song was recorded when these guys were working on Chinese Democracy. Next up is Poison by The Prodigy. This track was taken directly from the band's album Music for the Jilted Generation from '94. Up next is Super Beast, Girl on a Motorcycle mixed by Rob Zombie. Fun fact, Rob is actually the older brother of Spider-1, the frontman for Power Man 5000. Rob was even featured on their song Blast Off to Nowhere. Right after that is Bad Influence by Eminem. While the soundtrack mostly consists of rock and metal songs, we changed gears to hip-hop for this song. Fortunately, the song itself is pretty good. The following track is Nobody's Real by Power Man 5000. This track was taken directly from the band's album Tonight the Stars Revolt, which was released on July 20th, 1999. This was actually the first PM5K song I ever listened to, and I thought it sounded awesome and wanted to hear more from these guys. What comes next is I Wish I Had by Stroke. Out of all the artists on the soundtrack, this is the one that I'm least familiar with. The second to last track is Sugarcane by Sonic Youth. I am familiar with Sonic Youth, and I might get around to listening to more of their music. Now, the soundtrack ends with The Wrong Way by Creed. Back when I reviewed the albums by Creed, I stated that the shit these guys got from people was unjustified, and I stand by that statement. At least the people who compiled the soundtrack together had the decency to give these guys some recognition, and include one of their songs on it. Even though this is one of their lesser-known songs. Creed also performed at Woodstock 99, in case you didn't know. When researching this album, I read that it was number 16 in Canada, and number 20 on the Billboard 200. It was certified gold in Canada, and platinum in America. Entertainment Weekly gave this soundtrack a positive review, but some fucking hipster at AllMusic didn't like it. Honestly, fuck that critic in particular. Now for my thoughts. I think this is a great soundtrack. It's superior to the soundtrack for The Crow, City of Angels in every way, and I'd go as far as to call it one of my favorite movie soundtracks. The fact that it starts with the Korn song and ends with the Creed song doesn't get any more late 90s than that. Yeah, it's too bad nobody makes soundtracks like this anymore. Sure, there are people who make playlists featuring this kind of music, but it's just not the same. Overall, I highly recommend this soundtrack. If you want a copy for yourself, you should be able to find one on sites such as Discogs for a decent price. Now, as part where I question you, have you listened to the soundtrack for End of Days? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? If you've seen the movie, what did you think about it? Now, let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another review.